Josh Aspinall, who will be the first car out this afternoon. So for the first hour of practice, the cars will go the traditional way, and then in the second hour of practice, cars will go clockwise direction, just waiting for the last push car to get off the racetrack, which it has. So yellow lights are out, green lights are on, practice officially underway. So the idea this weekend would be to get yourself a race program. Josh Aspinall from Margaret River, Westside Tilt Tray, Busselton Exhaust Centre entry. Opening lap at 26.751, but in fairness to Josh, his first lap, he didn't really put the foot down early on. Underneath the new screen up there in turn 4. Lap number 2 will be considerably quicker. It is at 22.75. For those watching at home, welcome to you. It's a very, very warm day here in Collie. 37 degrees at the moment. Josh Aspinall washed out coming out of turn number 4. And his quick lap is still lap number 2. At 22.75. Seems to be going quicker on lap number 4. We'll just see how that transpires. And not as quick yet. .23.112 for lap number 4. Lap number 5 as he crosses the line. His time is at 22.726, which is his quick lap. And this will be the last of his 6 laps. Out of turn number 4 he comes into the main straight. Lap number 6 complete. And it's a 23.10 to finish off with. So his quick lap at 22.726 is the quick lap of the weekend so far. Just repeating. So the overall standings, WA7 Josh Aspinall holds first and last on the timing so far, as the only competitor to go out so far. There's a whole heap of cars about to come your way. 35.6 currently here in Collie. As the cars roll on out for practice session number 2. So car number 21, Trent Claybrook from Mount Barker, the first car to come out. With him is car number 78 of Colby Bosley of Bunbury, the MX Industries car. Also out there is car number 69 of Tyrone Hall from Albany. And car number 12, Jake Fisher from Bunbury in the Southwest Tree Safe entry. They're the first, they're the 4 cars that are out there. All about set to go. Green lights come on. This is practice session number 2. So Trent Claybrook, first car to arrive here at the Speedway, first one to start camping here. Can he be the first one to record a quick time? He is, a 22.13. Bosley comes across the line, 22.33. Tyrone Hall had an excursion. Does he come across the line for his first lap. So that's a 22.6. Sorry, 24.166 for Hall. Fisher is third quick with a 22.687. So start lap number 2. So we're watching at home Tyron Hall and Jake Fisher. Hall 22.893 is his quick lap on that last lap. Trent Claybrook's just gone quicker again with a 21.680. Colby Bosley's also just done his quick lap at 22.09. So laps start to tick on by. Down the main straight they come. Again, Claybrook does the quick lap. Lap 4, 21.581. Tyron Hall also doing a quick lap, as is Colby Bosley and also Jake Fisher. So lap number 4 was kind to all of them. So Claybrook, Bosley, Fisher and Hall is the order on times at the moment. One car starting to smoke is Jake Fisher. Now 2 of the 4 cars just did their quick lap on that lap, which was Fisher and Hall. Hall has just pulled to the infield in the 69. So we ride on board with Jake Fisher, who's got the smoke going, and it's getting worse. Checkered flag is the only thing that's going to save him. In fact, he did his quick lap on the last, Jake Fisher. You generally do that before it goes bang. Trent Claybrook, 21.581 was the quickest. From Colby Bosley, 21.603. Jake Fisher, 22.056. And Tyron Hall, 22.349. So 22.581 is the new time to beat. Next group of cars on their way out on the racetrack, coming into the main straight. Someone we don't see very often, Paul Briggs in car number 12 from Collie. 173, Fiona Palmer from over the road in Narrogin. Lenny Bates from Hillview in car 74, also making his way out onto the racetrack for East Pilbara Tyre Service. This is practice session number 3 in the ODH Mechanical Speedway Sedans Australia Street Stock WA title. Also making his way out is Ronnie Pocock, veteran driver from Albany. He's been in many, many titles. And it looks like Colby Bosley's back out there in the 78. He is. So Bosley already out for his second practice session. You can find all the times on My Race Pass if you've got the app. You can also, if you're at home, get the times on your laptop or your iPad or your iPhone. As we go green. Number 1, Paul Briggs, 21.506. It's the quickest of anybody so far today. 21.477, now the new time to beat, Lenny Bates. So it's Bates, now Colby Bosley at 21.474. So the time's coming down. Paul Briggs back to the top with a 21.119. Now that is actually quite quick. That might stand for a while. 21.1 around here in his street stock is pretty quick. Lenny Bates, Bosley, then Palmer and Pocock. Oh, Paul Briggs. Oh, nearly went through the outside fence. Come coming out of turn number 4. And it's the 173 of Fiona Palmer, who's 4th quick at the moment. So it's Briggs from Bates, from Bosley, Palmer and Pocock on times as laps start to tick on by. Lenny Bates goes to the top with a 21.045. So 21.045 is very quick around here. Paul Briggs second quick with a 21.119. Can Briggs fire back with a quick time? No, not quite. Bates again is up behind Fiona Palmer. As Ronnie Pocock about to come out of turn number 4. I think they're on their last lap. Paul Briggs is starting to slow down in car 12. Hard to tell how many laps we've done. Ian Crowe has gone on strike with the flags. So he's actually sitting up here, but flag stand is vacant. So I think this is the last lap. Yellows are on, yes indeed. So the quick time is a 21.045 by Lenny Bates. So Lenny Bates, 21.045, quicker than Paul Briggs with a 21.119. Colby Bosley, 21.474. Fiona Palmer, 21.528. And Ron Pocock at 22.497. That was the last practice session before water goes on the racetrack, just to keep the moisture in. It's a very, very warm day. Hello to everyone watching at home. And to those that are here, I think there are a few people here to the left. Got the window closed, trying to keep any semblance of cool air from the fan in. But yeah, it's a very warm day, so the water truck will be doing plenty of laps throughout the 2 hours. Thanks to ODH Mechanical, who specialise in repair and maintenance of construction, mining and marine and logistics vehicle and equipment throughout Karratha, along with the surrounding areas. Whether you require routine maintenance on a light vehicle or comprehensive repairs on large construction equipment, ODH Mechanical have the knowledge and expertise to get the job done right. They're located at 1961 Pyramid Road in Karratha. For more information, you can email them at admin@odhmechanical.com.au. Check, 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 check. Next group of cars coming out onto the racetrack. Daniel Flavel in car number 15. 83 of Stephanie Amaturi. Michael Hammond in car number 7. Josh Kennard in car 717. And the 17 of Seth Robinson. Car number 81 of Lincoln Coleman. So the car's rolling around at the moment. So we go green. turn number 2 we go. Michael Hammond has the quick time at the moment. From Lincoln Coleman, Daniel Flavel, Seth Robinson, Josh Kennard and Stephanie Amajuri. So Michael Hammond down into the 22s, remembering water has just been applied to the racetrack. So come back into the main straight. It's Flavel now. Daniel Flavel at 22.46, who's the quickest from Michael Hammond. Then Lincoln Coleman, Seth Robinson, Josh Kennard and Stephanie Amajuri. So another lap put together. Michael Hammond goes infield in car number 7. Sorry, Michael Hammond goes infield. He was third quick at the time. So Flavel continues to be the quickest from Stephanie Amajuri, Hammond, Kennard, Robinson and Coleman. They're on their last lap. Stephanie Amajuri just clocks in with a 22.2. Yellow lights come on and we are complete in that practice session. Daniel Flavel 21.562 was the quickest. Lincoln Coleman 21.849. Seth Robinson 21.882. Josh Kennard 22.087. Steph Amajuri 22.276 and Michael Hammond at 22.447. If you want to play at home on My Race Pass, can you believe My Race Pass is open for practice? You can actually put your fantasy team in for the practice session this afternoon. Who's going to be quickest? So get on board with that. The SMS line also open. People sending through messages 0428 211 484. Hats off to Collie Speedway. It looks awesome. Well, the white fence has now just got a speckle of brown, particularly up in turn number 4. So the next group of cars make their way out onto the racetrack. Car number 87 of Bradley Brennan, the excellent Autos Repairs entry. Car number 17 of Aaron Sutton from Ellenbrook, the Love Street Tattoos car. Jake Oath, the West Australian champion. The Buckley's Earthwork and Paving car all the way from Derby. Also out there is car number 9, Kane Della, the KCLD cleaning car. 22, the Patrick Godlett from Albany. And also out there is car number 4 of Chaz Skipworth from Mora and the Mora Automotive Hammer-built race cars. We're underway with the next practice session here in Collie. We've got half a dozen cars out on the racetrack and Jake Oath immediately looks visually quick in car number 1. He moves down the KJB back straight as we have a look at the cars. Goodlett in the 22 coming down the back straight. Here is Hoth. His opening lap is a 20.579. He's half a second quicker than everybody else. So Jake Oath, the West Australian champion, goes up into turn 3. He'll go underneath the screen up there and back into the main straight. Also, Kane Della going very quickly. He did a 20.891, Kane Della. Chaz Skipworth third quick, then Patrick Goodlett, Aaron Sutton and Bradley Brennan. Trouble for the 9 car of Kane Della has gone infield. So we've got Jake Oath up behind 2 of the other cars. We've got 3 of them locked together. Oath has just done a 20.460. Skipworth comes past us. 21.282, his quick lap, just on that lap gone. And we've gone yellow. And I think it's because the 9 car is too close to the racetrack over there. He's right on the curb. Expert comments next door from Adele said thought a tyre might have popped, so might be a flat, but car number 9 has come to grief. Now the gate is open, but I'm just going to get him to roll backwards or push his car backwards here before the greens come back on. Yeah, so he needs a push. So Jake Hoth, the quickest at the moment with a 20.460. Kane Della, 20.891. And Chaz Skipworth, 21.282, the 3 quickest so far. If you do want to send a message through, if you're watching at home, certainly do so, 0428 211 484. Or if you're one of the thousands of people that are here, you can also do the same. So we go back to green lights with this practice session here. You'll also find all the times of every competitor on Speedway Sedan's WA Facebook page. That's being updated after every practice session. As Jake Hoth has some clear racing room on this occasion. As he runs down the back straight. It's about to come up into turn 3 and underneath the screen. And into the main straight. Let's see what he puts for his next lap. It's not his quickest. Now, car number 4 over on the back straight, Chaz Skipworth, is practically stopped. And the officials watching this, interestingly. I'll try and get Skipworth off the racetrack so we can remain green. As another lap ticks by. Hoth with a 20.460 continues to be the quickest from Skipworth, who now meanders to the infield here in the main straight. Goodlet is 3rd in car 22 with a 20.789. Last lap here in this practice session. Jake Hoth will come across the line. Can he go quicker? Not quite. As we go yellow. So the time to beat now of all comers is a 20.460 by car number 1, Jake Hoth. Chaz Skipworth was 2nd quick, 20.748, 20.789 for Patrick Goodlet. Kane Della at 20.891, Aaron Sutton 21.753, and Brad Brennan at 22.865. Those cars go off the racetrack. The next group will come out straight away. And some immaculate looking race cars too. We've got 2 3s out here. So we've got Donnie Davis and also Gavin Minty. In fact, it may not be Donnie Davis and Gavin Minty. I've just looked in the race program. There's 3 3s here today. I can tell you Russell Gunn is out there. It is Gavin Minty in car number 3, the first of the 3s. And I was right, the second of the 3s was Stephen Kendall. The 42 car is Tide Lovell. Also with Tide Lovell is Colby Bosley back again. Colby Bosley's like a homing pigeon. He wants plenty of laps. Goes out one gate, back through the next one. Car 63 out there, Fletcher Malentis from Manjimup. And the last of the 6 is the 72. One of the legends in Russell Gunn, car number 72, all the way from Kununurra, the East Kimberley Computers and Tyre Plus Kununurra entry as we go green in this practice session. Gavin Minty almost went through the concrete wall. So Malentis, the 21.173 is the quickest so far. Now Minty, now Lovell. Bosley moves up to 3rd quick with a 21.242. All going nicely at this early stages of practice for the ODH Mechanical SSA Street Stock WA title here in Collie. 5th time it's been run here in its long history. And sadly, over that long history, I've called every one of them here as well. 34 years since the first one. Kendall and Lovell side by side as they move down the main straights. We focus in on Colby Bosley in car number 78. Now car number 63 of Fletcher Molentis. Meanwhile, it's the 42 of Tide Lovell, who is the quickest of all with a 20.767. Minty now goes to second on lap number 4 with a 20.983, dropping Kendall to third with a 20.063. So we look at the 72 of Russell Gunn, currently 5th quickest, remains there at the completion of that lap, and right behind him is the 3. Oh, one car nearly in the wall over there on the back straight, and may well have hit it. That's the 42 of Tide Lovell, who's the quickest car on the racetrack. As we come to the last lap in this practice session, let's have a look. Did Lovell touch the wall? Don't think so, but went close. Oh, flat tyre for Colby Bosley. He's gone. And we've gone too. We've gone yellow. It's the end of the 6 laps. Quickest lap was a 20.767 by Tide Lovell. Fletcher Molentis second quick, 20.775. Gavin Minty third quick, 20.983. Then Stephen Kendall, 21.063. Russell Gunn, 21.177. And Colby Bosley, 21.242. So there wasn't much separating the 6 of them, but certainly Tide Lovell, the quickest of the 6. Next group of cars about to make their way up. Just repeating the first hour, we're going this way. The second hour, we're going the opposite direction. Some more cars we're seeing for the first time. Ronnie Pocock out for the second time, but the 55, Jace Kempton definitely for the first. Matt Hammond coming out as well in the Mendez Race Engines entry. Car number 28 also coming out for the first time, Reese O'Reilly. Anthony Heelan, or was that Trent Claybrook? I think it's Trent Claybrook is out there, and also coming back out is Josh Aspinall. Matt Hammond, who did so well in the Australian title, and a little bit of rotten luck ended his event. Trent Claybrook in the 21. And Josh Aspinall in the 7. We go green. I'll try and count the laps for you because no flags downstairs at the moment. So not sure if that is going to be a permanent thing for the whole of practice, but the green lights are on. Ronnie Pocock, Jace Kempton, Matt Hammond, Reese O'Reilly, Trent Claybrook, Josh Aspinall. And they're nicely spread out in the early stages. Track in really good condition considering how hot it is here. First lap by Jace Kempton is a 20.547. He's only 0.1 of a second off quick time in official practice. Trent Claybrook, 20.837. Matt Hammond, then Reese O'Reilly, Ron Pocock, and Josh Aspinall jumps up one to go to 5th. Well, Matt Hammond's gone. Matt Hammond has gone to the infield at a rate of knots, and he's out. So the 4 car in some early dramas. Jace Kempton is now quickest of everybody so far at 20.397. So the 55 car from Carnarvon is low flying. Last time around was a 21.1. His best lap at 20.367. He's 0.3 of a second quicker than Trent Claybrook in car number 21, who's down in turn 2. Out of turn 4, Jace Kempton, one of the favourites for the event. This time around does a 20.6. Behind him is the veteran Ronnie Pocock from Albany's Atwell Park, 22.3. Claybrook still second quick. That time around did a 20.752, his quickest lap so far. Back into the main straight they come again. Jace Kempton this time does a 20.543, so some very consistent and quick laps by the 55. As our race comes towards an end, we're on the last lap at a turn number 4. And car number 55, Jace Kempton, what's he come up with? It's a 20.8 that time around. That's his 6 laps done, a long 2 with Pocock and Claybrook. And then the last car that'll complete the distance will be that of Reese O'Reilly. Now the lights are still green. He might get this lap in. Kempton, 20.410, nearly went as quick as his quick lap. So it's a 20.397 now by the 55. So Jace Kempton has the quickest lap overall with a 20.397. And second quick is a 20.460 by Jake Hoth. Some support for Reese O'Reilly. This water truck comes out and puts a splash of water on just to keep a little bit of moisture in the racetrack. It's a very warm day here indeed. And some of the water trucks have been donated for the weekend as well from some of the great sponsors and supporters. Shane Wild from Manji is here in car number 2. He's out in this practice session, along with Damon Lyle in car number 27 from Carnarvon, the Macquarie Brown earth moving entry. Also out there is car number 69, Paul Joss for Penrite and ODH Mechanical. Car number 46 of Ricky Ladousley from Collie. Also out there is car number 6 of Hayden Norman, who won the coal miner here in incredible conditions before Christmas, and Ethan Cooper is also here as well in the RVS Holdings entry. Shane Wild just coming to the infield for the moment. That car looks immaculate. So Lyle is there, Joss, Ladislau in car number 46 from Kalgoorlie. Ethan Cooper always presents a really pretty race car. No exception this weekend. And car number 6. And none of these cars have practiced so far. We're up to 34 cars that have practiced. And the quickest race car so far is Jace Kempton with a 20.397. As we go green, 6 laps the journey. Damon Lyle gets us underway. Oh, he threw it in pretty heavily down there in turn number 1. Mind you, water has just been applied, so they're nicely spread out for the moment. At a turn number 4, our first lap by Damon Lyle. What does he come up with? 22.1. Paul Joss, 22.58. Ladislau comes across the line with 23.3. Shane Wild goes to the top with a 21.512. And Hayden Norman now goes even quicker again. So it's Norman, Lyle, Wild, Joss, Cooper and Ladislau in order of times at the moment in this practice session. As Lyle comes down the main straight. That time around 21.114, his quick lap. Paul Joss also doing his quick lap at 21.699. Got four of them locked together in turn number 1 and 2. Ladislai, Cooper, Wild and Norman. Meanwhile, on this side of the racetrack, all by himself is Damon Lyle completing another lap, lap number 4. Paul Joss in the 69 also completes lap 4. His quickest so far with a 21.355, but he's dropped now to 5th place on times. Ethan Cooper now up to 4th. As Damon Lyle completes lap number 5 and goes to the top with a 20.543. So he's getting close to the overall quick time. Hayden Norman's second quick. Paul Joss and Ricky Ladders. As the checker flag comes out, pretend it's coming out. This is the end of lap 6 for Damon Lyle. It's 69. Paul Joss completes his 6th lap at 22.1 for him. Ladislai comes across the line along with Wild, Cooper and Norman. Yellows come on. So Damon Lyle was the quickest there with a 20.543. Hayden Norman 20.574. Shane Wild third quick with a 21.020. Ethan Cooper 21.152. Paul Joss 21.355. Ricky Ladislai 21.556. Rumour from next door, expert comments, Kane Della may have done a gearbox. So there'll be a bit of work for them to do to change that over. Next group of cars on their way out. Few more cars we haven't seen so far. Here comes Craig Clayton, Hillview, the East Pilbara Tyre Service, car number 35. Stephanie Amaturi back for a second crack in car number 83, as is the 15 for Daniel Flavel. Car number 19, Stevie O'Dowd, who's bringing us this event from Nickel Bay, the ODH mechanical entry. Also out there, car number 10, Matt Iwanow, Slick Apparel. There's one more. He's playing into the main straight. It's the 22. Jacob Doust, all the way from Derby. It's great to have all the competitors from all around the state with us this weekend. As we are green in the next practice session here. Stevie O'Dowd up and over the curb in turn number 2. Back onto the race surface. Craig Clayton 21.5. 20.9 for Daniel Flavel. So it's Flavel, Clayton, Iwanow, Amaturi, Doust, and now O'Dowd up to 4th. Daniel Flavel has just done a 20.692. He's in the 15 car and he's on a pretty quick lap here too. Out of turn number 4, watch him come across the line. And what does he do? It's a 21.8 that time around. So behind Stephanie Amaturi. Craig Clayton in the green car on the back straight is second quick at the moment. Last time around was a 20.937 for Craig Clayton. It was his quick lap. He's just done a 21.1 that time around. So it's still Flavel from Clayton, from Iwanow, from O'Dowd. Iwanow takes the 10 entry to the infield. As the laps tick by. Lap number 5 complete now. Jacob Doust. And with Jacob Doust is Craig Clayton. They run down the back straight as we look at Stephanie Amaturi go close to the wall over there 2. This is the last lap for this group of cars. Doust and Clayton cross the line together. Here comes 15 of Daniel Flavel. Amaturi and O'Dowd. That should be yellow lights, I would have thought. They've all completed 6 laps, apart from Jacob Doust, according to this. He crosses the line now, and we're complete. So Daniel Flavel 20.692, Craig Clayton 20.937, Stevie O'Dowd 21.041, Matt Iwanow fourth quick 21.081, Stephanie Amaturi 21.424, Jacob Doust 21.673. Water truck coming out. We'll have the next practice session in just a tick. So far is still at 20.397 by Jace Kempton. Good to see everyone in the main straight. So the next group of cars about to be pushed away. Fiona Palmer, Daniel Simpson, Aaron Sutton, Anthony Heelan, Nathan Doust and also Jake Hoth. Oops, we've got our first spin, and we've got our first contact. There was a spin at the other end, incidentally, as well down in Palmer's, but 18 into the 17. Nothing major. And we've gone yellow. Back underway, back green. No one has completed a lap yet. 30 car out there is Nathan Douse from Derby in the ARAC refrigeration, air conditioning and Derby bus service entry. Sutton looking quick, the 18 after contact with Sutton. Back bumper is hanging off. Sutton has gone wide, almost into the wall up there in turn 1 and 2. Starting to get a little bit interesting as time ticks by. 48 minutes into practice, Sutton goes again. Oh, look out. Hoth misses him on the outside. We've had two cars complete a lap. Daniel Simpson at 23.3, Anthony Heelan at 24.1. Scott Beattie going to the record books for the most stoppages in a practice session. He hasn't stopped looking. This could be the most. So we're back green again. Doused from Derby. 21 car comes across the line. Anthony Heelan, Hoth, Palmer. As we're about to get cars completing a lap finally, apart from Simpson and Heelan. Douse goes to the top momentarily. Then it was Heelan, then it was Simpson, now it's Hoth with a 21.0. And the West Australian champion does look very quick. And I think the 17 car might have popped a tyre. And he's going to roll around and will be OUT out, one would suspect. Greens remain on for the moment as Sutton takes the 17 car infield. First car to come across the line this time will be Doused. Last lap around was a 22.0. Yeah, flat to right tyre for, right front tyre for Sutton. As the five cars are all within, well, nearly the back straight of one another. Laps slowly ticking by. This is lap number 4 of 6. We've had 3 stoppages. Doused completes lap number 4. So too does Hoth. Whoop, Douse has slowed down in front of Claybrook and also Hoth. They get underneath. So too does the 18 car of Simpson and Palmer. And Douse rolls the car infield. So this has been a really untidy practice session, this one. A lap to go. Hoth from Claybrook. Sorry, Heelan. Getting my 21s mixed up. Back then to the 18 of Simpson. They are on the last lap. And Jake Hoth looking quick. Can he lower his time from earlier? He crosses the line. It's a 20.799. Back then in second, so crossed the line, was Anthony Heelan. So it's Hoth, Palmer, Heelan, Doused, Sutton, and Simpson. Your top 5, your 6, and we had 2 of them, Doused and Sutton on the infield. Sutton with a flat right tyre. More cars coming out in just a tick. Next 6 cars coming out onto the racetrack. Car number 74, Lenny Bates. The Good Guys Performance Centre, Pilbara Panel and Paint. Car number 74. Behind him is Peter Dowie. In the Bun and Haulage BSD Contracting CEA entry. Behind him, car number 3, Stephen Kendall, who's been out before. Jake Fisher's back in car 12. Ash Kongu out for the first time in the 32. In the Club 69 race cars entry. And the last of the 6 cars is Matt Lowe. Pressure Steam. Car number 23. Great representation of right across the state. From Kununurra in the far north down to the far south in Esperance with Josh Stewart, and out to Kalgoorlie in the east with Ricky Ladislau. We're green with the next practice session. Lenny Bates, 21.0, 21.2 for Dowie. Kendall, 21.4. Jake Fisher, 21.9. Ash Kongu jumps up to third with a 21.3. And Matt Lowe, 22.539. Lap number 2 for Lenny Bates at 20.735. From Peter Dowie, Jake Fisher, Ash Kongu, Stephen Kendall. And last of the 6 is Matt Lowe. These 6 are spread out, which is good for their now to get a clean run. Lenny Bates, 21.5 as the 88 car to the infield. Was the second quickest car on the racetrack. Fisher, Kongu, Kendall and Lowe in that order. But it is still Lenny Bates in the 74. His last lap was a 21.1. Kendall jumps up to second with a 21.230. Peter Dowie drops to third. Lenny Bates comes back again with a 21.1 for this particular lap. Kendall still second. There's Fisher coming across the line. And Ash Kongu now jumps up to second with a 21.142. That's the white car, number 32, over on the back straight. Laps ticking by. In fact, this is the last lap. Yellows will start flashing in just a moment. Bates is the quickest from Kongu. Kendall, Dowie, Fisher and Lowe. That is the way it finishes. As we go yellow. So Lenny Bates the quickest with a 20.735. Ash Kongu 21.142. Steve Kendall 21.230. Peter Dowie 21.247. Jake Fisher 21.305. And Matt Lowe 21.510. So they're the 6 cars that have just been and gone. Next 6 cars on their way out. Jace Kempton in 55 is back out for another crack. He did have the quick time, in fact does have quick time at the moment. First car out in this group, car number 11, CJ Flavel, the DJF contracting and welding entry. Here's Jace Kempton back for a second crack. 20.397 was his quick time earlier on. Also out there is car number 20, Brett Brennan. TJ Host in car number 29 from Margaret River and the Friars Well entry, and also for RSM and Lewin Tyres. 22 car back out is Patrick Goodlett from Albany. And also out there is the 66, Ben Norman, who I think is out for the first time as well. The Prestige Cool Room Hire and Sales car. As we go green in this hot lap session for the West Australian title for ODH Mechanical. CJ Flavel in 11, Jace Kempton 55, Brett Brennan in 20, Thomas Host is out there in the 29, along with Patrick Goodlett and Ben Norman. First lap coming by is by Jace Kempton at 20.981. From Brett Brennan and CJ Flavel. Brett Brennan now up to third. Host is up to second as the laps and the times change with every passing moment. But Jace Kempton remains on top with a 20.981. That lap was a 21.2. Ben Norman, Thomas Host, Patrick Goodlett, Brett Brennan and CJ Flavel. Oh, Goodlett momentarily was looking at the concrete. As we focus back in on our leaders, Kempton, 20.980, remains the quickest after 3 laps from Ben Norman. Back to Patrick Goodlett, Thomas Host, Brett Brennan, and CJ Flavel. Lap number 4, Jace Kempton has some clear racing room now. Down the main straight, he'll be on a flying lap this time now that he's got past CJ Flavel. Here is the 20 of Brett Brennan. Behind him is Host, and then Goodlet, and Ben Norman remains second quick. What will the time be from Kempton? It's a 20.9, his quick lap of this session. Back then to the 11 car of CJ Flavel, who's the slowest of the 6, but within a second of what the 55 is doing. So Kempton comes out at turn number 4. The imaginary checkered flag comes out. 6 laps are done. Kempton crosses the line with a 20.947. The 11 car of CJ Flavel finishes with a 22.2. So the yellow lights come on, and Jace Kempton 20.908, the quickest from Ben Norman, 20.996. Third quick is Patrick Goodlet with a 21.228. Thomas Host 21.380. Back then to Ben Norman 21.678 and CJ Flavel with a 21.826. So a little bit of water coming out onto the racetrack.
Yeah, that's where it was back then.
The water truck being driven by Ethan Genev, so he's competing in the title, and he's just helping all these other competitors out today by applying the water to the racetrack.
I'm not sure which ones are which. And then
So the quickest time, incidentally, is still Jace Kempton with a 20.397. Here's Ethan Genev driving down the main straight, probably the slowest he'll go all weekend.
you know we had that problem with the music cutting out every year? It was happening again.
So just 49 cars have completed one practice session, and 20.397 is still the quick lap.
Trent Claybrook just behind
Yeah, because we're pushing too much volume.
Trent Claybrook is second quick, but we don't need to worry about that. First quick is what we're after. Scott Beattie is still looking into the record books of that practice session where we had 3 stoppages, whether there's a record or not.
There's only .0637 between the top 3.
So the water truck will just do a lap on the bottom.
Top 13.
So it's the top 13 are separated by what? Half a second.
And the
Top 30
30 are separated by a second.
separated by a second. I thought that was the case.
2.468.
So water truck comes out. Let's see if we got anyone new in this lot. Looks like these are all second-time visitors. Josh Kennard in the Rudd Auto Electric and Mechanical 717. Paulie's back there, out there. Tyron Hall from Albany in the AFI towing entry. Russell Gunn all the way from Cunnadarra is out there for Tyre Plus. Maybe we haven't seen Glenn Edmonds. We haven't. Glenn Edmonds, a newcomer. So we'll add him to the list. The Gateway Hotel in Manji. Car number 56, Ethan Cooper, the RVS Holdings car. And car number 17 of Seth Robinson. So Glenn Edmonds is the 50th of the 66 cars to enter. Did have a question whether the 5-time West Australian champion was in the pits in Jamie Oldfield. We haven't seen him.
You can't just join 2 together like that.
And your good friend Blowfly says to say hello too. So Scotty Beattie next door getting plenty of love. So away we go with the next practice session. Josh Kennard, Tyron Hall, Russell Gunn, Glenn Edmonds, Ethan Cooper and Seth Robinson. And there is a restart. We've gone yellow after the 69 comes to grief. So we're yellow at the moment. Hall was the car that spun. We go back to green. So Kennard, 22.7. Seth Robinson, 23.5. Seth Robinson drops to third as Russell Gunn goes to the top now. Glenn Edmonds goes even quicker. Tyrone Hall and now Ethan Cooper, the last car across the line, now goes to the top with a 21.948. Seth Robinson goes quicker again, 21.911 to go back to the top now. Russell Gunn in the 72 goes quicker. So this may well be the last session that goes in this direction as we just tick into the second hour of practice. We'll see if the steward is up to that or awake to that. The next one will probably go the other way round. Robinson still the quickest at the moment from Cooper, Gunn, Kennard, Edmonds and Hall as the 17 car Seth Robinson goes infield as the quickest car on the racetrack at the moment. Out of turn number 4. Down the main straight goes Russell Gunn. So Robinson, Cooper, Gunn, Kennard, Edmonds and Hall in that order. Hall now goes to the top with a 21.575 in the 69. From Ethan Cooper now goes to the top. Well, going right up near the wall here in the main straight was Russell Gunn, brought up the dust right up against the concrete. So Ethan Cooper from Tyrone Hall, Seth Robinson, Russell Gunn, and then Josh Kennard and Glenn Edmonds as we go yellow as Ethan Cooper spins the 56. So the pit gate will open and that is the end of that. Confirmation Jamie Oldfield is not here because he confirmed it himself by text. Thank you for that. So Ethan Cooper the quickest in that group from Tyrone Hall, Seth Robinson, Russell Gunn. Then Josh Kennard and Glenn Edmonds. Water truck coming out in stealth. Well, there's one coming out on the racetrack, the other one going through the pits at the moment. It's still a very warm afternoon here. It's having the gate open now.
Do you want a random stat?
As Scott Beatty's about to give me a really random stat.
So, 24 cars this weekend have the number 1 in their number.
24 cars in the field this weekend have got a 1 as part of their number.
Do you want to guess which one has the least? Oh, no.
And am I to guess which one has got the least? Let's go with number 8, just human. Yeah.
Number 5. 25 cars have a 5.
Only 5 cars this weekend have a 5 in their number, and only Scott Beatty would be so concerned or find that exciting.
6 cars have number 9, and 18 cars have number 2.
So we're about to go for the second half of this practice session in the opposite direction. Shane Wild comes up the main straight, as does Stephanie Amajuri. Trent Claybrook is back out there. We've had 50 cars practice so far. Don't recall Cade Munro being out. So we'll make that 51 now. Lincoln Coleman and Fletcher Malentis also out there. As they move down the back straight. Coming into the main straight, Shane Wild in car number 2. Starts the time with a 21.9. Stephanie Amajuri, 21.9. Trent Claybrook at 20.8. Cade Munro, second quickest. The car doesn't sound all that flash as they come out of turn number 2 and back down the back straight. Munro is now third quick with a 22.0 on that lap round. Shane Wild, another lap put together, 21.9. Out of turn number 4 comes Munro in the 24. 21.8. Oops, Coleman has taken a big excursion out of turn number 4. Green lights remain on. Claybrook, Malentis, Wild, then Munro, Amajuri and Coleman. That's the order on times at the moment as they make their way out of turn number 4 once again. This time around it's Coleman just ahead of Fletcher Malentis. They've all now completed 4 laps. Wild completes lap number 5. He's still third quick. Right behind him is Trent Claybrook, who's the quickest car on the racetrack in the 21. As they come out of turns 3 and 4 yet again. We're on the last lap. Claybrook still trying to get past Shane Wild as they complete lap number 6. Here comes Cade Munro from Geraldton in the ABBL contracting entry. All cars have now completed their 6 laps. And Trent Claybrook on lap number 3 did the quick lap at 20.556. Fletcher Malentis was second quick and Shane Wild was third quick. Then Cade Munro, Lincoln Coleman and Stephanie Amajuri. So the 6 cars complete their 6 laps. And the next group of cars will make their way onto the racetrack. First car out will be Daniel Flavel in car number 15. Paul Briggs out there in car number 12 that I can see. Let's wait for the final car to get off the track, which is Cade Munro. As we're into the second hour of practice. 20.397 by the 55 of Jace Kempton. Still the quickest. Trent Claybrook second quickest. Jake Ho third quickest on times so far. 52nd car to enter the racetrack. Donnie Davis in car number 3. One of 3 car number 3s this weekend. Donnie Davis officially WX3. Opposed to that, car number 3 of Gavin Minty, who is WA3. Not to be confused with Stephen Kendall, who's W3. There's only one car number 12 out there in this one. It's the W12 of Paul Briggs. Zoe Green. Down the main straight, Donnie Davis from Hillview in the SR Coin Contracting Collie Machine Shop gets us underway. So we're into the second hour of official practice in the ODH Mechanical SSA Street Stock title. Donnie Davis comes past the pub. Oh, he had to really straighten up there. Concrete was really coming up quickly. 21.5 for Donnie Davis. Chaz Skipworth in car 4 was momentarily the quickest. Now it's Gavin Minty. And Donnie Davis has taken car number 3 to the infield. 15 moves out of turn number 4. Daniel Flavel. Minty behind him. Minty does a 21.1, 21.6. Paul Briggs is currently in the top spot after lap number 3, just does a 21.1. Chaz Skipworth behind Paul Briggs has done a 21.2. So the cars we're focusing in on at the moment. Briggs comes across the line, goes quicker. So too does Skipworth. There's 1/1000th of a second between them. Skipworth 21.125, Briggs 21.126. Out of turn 4 they come. Now Daniel Flavel has jumped them all. He's gone to 21.0. So the 15 car over on the back straight is now the quickest of the lot from Skipworth and Briggs. Minty in car 3 is 4th. Oh, we got contact over on the back straight. The 12 and the 4 have made contact. I don't know if Paul Briggs was pulling off the racetrack, but he's well and truly off now. And the 4 car has slowed right down in Chaz Skipworth. Meanwhile, Gavin Minty has gone, is the quickest with a 21.0. So we've only got 3 left. Minty, Flavel and Skipworth are the 3 quickest on times, but it's Minty, Flavel and Craig Clayton, the only 3 cars out on the racetrack. We've gone yellow. That's the end of the session. Minty was the quickest with a 21.034. From Daniel Flavel, 21.078. Chaz Skipworth, 21.125. And a 21.126 for Paul Briggs. The water truck is very quickly entering the racetrack, and he'll just let Craig Clayton go by first. Then Donnie Davis was the last of the 6. We welcome everyone from around the state, or if you've even come further than that, welcome here to Collie Speedway for the West Australian title for ODH Mechanical. It's great to have you here, and there's part of the good crowd that's actually here in the main straight in very warm conditions, as Greg Avens behind the water truck on this occasion. Cars to start as the water just goes down on the inside part of the racetrack. So 52 cars have been out and practiced of the 66. It's a couple of, well, most of the Collie cars haven't been out there. Been no Damon Thompson, no Ethan Genev. Wayne Thompson certainly hasn't been out there, and Jamie Oldfield's another we haven't seen. Let's go through the list. No Brian Jackson to this point. Also haven't seen Cody Avens, or maybe he was out earlier, I can't remember now, but Peter Herbert definitely not. Mark Higgins definitely not. Fabian Lamondy, Lincoln Dickinson, definitely not, and Jaden Heelan would be the other one. So 52 so far. Let's see if we've got any newcomers this time around. Water just applied. Car number 10 back out there. Matt Iwan out. Stevie O'Dowd in car number 19. 69 car of Paul Joss. Car number 9, Kane Della. 24, Jake Williams. And Matt Hammond back out there in car number 4. They're the 6 cars, yellow lights flashing. Green lights have been activated. We're underway. So these times will won't be quick in the initial stages after the water has been applied. First time will come through for Matt Iwanow in car number 10. So 24.7. So we've got to get down to a 20.39, which is the quickest lap so far. So it's Paul Joss with the quickest lap from Matt Hammond. Iowa now moves up to second now. Hammond back to third. Hammond now to the top with a 21.9. Run all over this racetrack at the moment. It's in fantastic condition considering how hot it is here. Hammond 21.919. Matt Iwanow 22.1. Paul Joss 22.2. Jake Williams at 22.7. Stevie O'Dowd is testing the patience of the concrete wall up there. Sorry, no, it wasn't. It was actually the 69 of Paul Joss and then Stevie O'Dowd. Hammond comes underneath of Jake Williams coming out of turn number 4. So we've completed 5 of the 6 laps. Matt Iwanow goes to the top with a 21.6. Hammond to second, Joss back to third, as just have one car to complete lap number 6. As we go yellow. So Matt Iwanow 21.693 was the quickest from Matt Hammond with a 21.834. Paul Joss 22.054. Kane Della was next with a 22.478. Jake Williams 22.768 and Stevie O'Dowd at 22.973. Next group of cars on their way out. So we've had 53 different drivers of the 66. Ash Congu is out there along with CJ Flavel and Matt Lowe. As we go green, also out there is Jacob Doust in the 22. Colby Bosley, who I reckon has practiced more, been in more practice sessions than anybody else. There's no limit to how many can go in. He's back out there having another crack, and also out there is Ronnie Pocock in the 46. We're on board at the moment with our vision of Colby Bosley. Bosley sets a time of 23.6. Ronnie Pocock goes into second. Jacob Douse now to second. CJ Flavel is the quickest. Matt Lowe jumps up to second. And Ash Kongu goes from last to first with a 21.776. So laps and time will start ticking by. 36 minutes left. Ash Kongu in the white car here, car number 32. The Outback Brewing Co. West State Plumbing and Gas. Ash Kongu comes down the back straight. Oh, one car got super sideways coming out of 4. CJ Flavel in car 11. Currently 4th quickest in this group. Matt Lowe jumps up to second now in the 23 car from Derby. Great to have all the Derby competitors here this weekend. Matt Lowe, one of 4 Derby competitors. Oops, one into the wall up there, Ash Kongu. And Ash Kongu puts the car on the infield. As the green lights remain on, and Jacob Doust now goes to the top in the blue 22 going out of Palmer's Corner. Colby Bosley is 5th quick, the next car across the line. As we're on the last lap, Jacob Doust will come up to complete lap number 6. So Jacob Doust completes his 6th lap from Derby. There's the 78 of Bosley. He's finished, so too Ronnie Pocock. And CJ Flavel, some white smoke coming out the back end of the car. So Jacob Doust here in the main straight was the quickest with a 21.377. CJ Flavel second quick, 21.576. Matt Lowe third quick, 21.694. Lap number 4th was Ash Kongu, 21.776. Then it was Ronnie Pocock, 22.044. And Colby Bosley at 22.152. Even the water truck is going in the clockwise direction with the cars coming out on the racetrack. So the next group making their way out as well as the water goes down. So we've got 2 cars to get off the racetrack who are giving way to the water truck, which is probably the best thing to do in this circumstance. And water truck just making its way out of turn 4 and back into the main straight. The car's been asked to roll around behind the water truck. So yellow lights still flashing here. I think the water truck might be taking a turn. No, I was going to think it's going to take a turn to the right, but it's taking a turn to the left. Lights are out. We're green, green, green. Michael Hammond leads us up the main straight in car number 7. Behind him is Stephen Kendall in car number 3. Bradley Brennan, Ricky Ladislai, then Jake Fisher and Nathan Doust are your 6 combatants out there at the moment. Time to beat still is a 20.397 by Jace Kempton. We're in the 21.9s at the moment. You've got to time it right in between the water going down to get a really quick lap in. 18 qualifying heats to come tomorrow night, along with production sedans also on the schedule. So move down the main straight. Michael Hammond, Stephen Kendall, Jake Fisher, Ladisly, Brennan and Doust. Hammond continues to be the quickest car on the racetrack, 21.7 that time around. Car number 7 moves into the main straight to complete lap number 4. 21.239 that time around by Hammond. Stephen Kendall in car 3 is still the second quickest car. Jake Fisher in car 12 is third quick at the moment with a 22.132, which he just set on that lap. Michael Hammond, 21.138 that time around, lap 5. So on their last lap, Ladisly went wide out of turn number 4. And Michael Hammond, I didn't think the car sounded all that flash. He's put the 7 on the infield as car number 3, Stephen Kendall, comes across the line. So Hammond was the quickest from Kendall. Bradley Brennan is third quick. Ricky Ladisly now moves up to third. Jake Fisher to fourth, and Bradley Brennan finishes fifth in this group. And Nathan Douse is the last car to complete the 6 laps. So Michael Hammond, 21.138 was the quickest, but ended up on the infield. Stephen Kendall, 21.618 was second quick. Ricky Ladisly, 21.551 third quick. Jake Fisher, fourth quick, 21.568. Bradley Brennan, 21.890 was fifth quick. And Nathan Douse, 21.956. So that group of cars go to the infield. It's 5:31, half an hour left for official practice. Chase Kempton, who's the quickest of all comers so far, of the 53 that have been out there, is out in this session. And we've got both 21s out there on this occasion as well. Anthony Heelan and Trent Claybrook. Heelan in the blue 21, Claybrook in the orange 21. 173 Fiona Palmer for Tyre Power of Lake Grace. It's also out there along with Jace Kempton. Daniel Simpson in the 18, and the 56 is Ethan Cooper. So there'll be your 6 to go around in this next practice session. Big green, away we go. Lap number 1 in the books for Daniel Simpson and Anthony Heelan. So Simpson the quickest of the 2. Ethan Cooper goes up to the top with a 21.85. Now it's Trent Claybrook with a 20.89. And all 6 of them are evenly spread around the racetrack. Claybrook from Cooper, from Palmer, from Simpson. As Jace Kempton jumps straight to the top. And he's done a 20.71. So he's within 0.4 of a second of his overall quick time, and he's on a track which is not overly wet. Let's see what he can come up with. Or he had to overcorrect there, or had to correct it. Nearly went into the wall. 21.627 was his lap. So it'll take him another lap to get back up to speed after nearly having excursion in the wall here. Out of Cardinals corner they'll come. Fiona Palmer in front of him. So that's right on board with the 55. So he can come up with a quick lap. It's a 21.6. It won't be a quick lap because he's up behind Fiona Palmer. He's got to pass Fiona first of all, and then he'll have clear racing room, which will probably be this lap round. He's got underneath the Palmer. So I reckon this lap round we might be able to see him get close to the time. Up the main straight he comes, into turn one, underneath the screen. Out of Palmer's corner, he's down low. Gets a good exit out of two. Trent Claybrook and Daniel Simpson still second and third quick. This is lap number 5 of 6. Out of turn number 4, he's down low. Half track high up the main straight. What's he come up with? It's a 21.0. So it's still 0.3 of a second slower than earlier on lap 1. This is the last lap for all 6 of them. Jace Kempton comes out of turn number 4 into the main straight and completes his 6 laps with a 21.1. Trent Claybrook second quick, Daniel Simpson third, then Ethan Cooper, Anthony Heelan, Fiona Palmer. 20.711 was the quick lap by Jace Kempton. Trent Claybrook at 20.89. Daniel Simpson 21.79. And a 21.79 also for Ethan Cooper. And a 21.90 by Anthony Heelan. And a 22.1 by Fiona Palmer. So the next 6 cars out onto the racetrack, including Jake Hoth, the West Australian champion. Also out there is Paul Joss in car number 19, 27 Damon Lyle, Hayden Norman in 6, 74 Lenny Bates, in car number 4 Matt Hammond. And all 6 of these drivers would have hopes and aspirations of being in the A main, one would think. Yellow light's about to go out. We're about to go green. 24 minutes left of practice as we go green in this practice session. Up the main straight we come. So Jake Hoth, the West Australian champion, on screen at the moment, runs down into turn number 3. Matt Hammond's just done a 21.713 and Stevie O'Dowd a 22.295. Jake Hoth comes up to second with a 22.106. Damon Lyle, the quickest now, with a 21.4. Hayden Norman does a 21.2. Oh, Paul Joss right out near the concrete. Out of turn number 4, they're using all of the racetrack and some at the moment. Hayden Norman, your quickest car on the racetrack from Matt Hammond. Now it's Damon Lyle jumps up to second. And we're talking 0.15 of a second between first and fourth at the moment. Norman, Lyle, Hammond and Bates. Jake Hoth is 5th at the moment, West Australian champion. It's 0.3 of a second between first and 5th, and Stevie O'Dowd at 21.884 is not shabby either. Paul Joss right up near the concrete. As we complete another lap, Joss just completes, sorry, Stevie O'Dowd, apologies, the car out there in 19, 22.3. Again, he ventures out near the concrete, coming out of Cardinals corner. So Stevie O'Dowd, this time with 22.367, completes lap number 5. Jake Hoth completes lap number 5 as well as Matt Hammond. And the last car to cross the line will be Lenny Bates, who's 4th quick. Meanwhile, it's Hayden Norman in car number 6 over on the back straight, who's the quickest of them all at 21.05. Side by side out of 4 between Damon Lyle and Jake Hoth. There will be a drag to the line. They practically cross together as the yellow lights will come on as we complete this practice session. .21.050 by Hayden Norman. Damon Lyle 21.2. Matt Hammond 21.3. 21.4 by Lenny Bates. 21.5 by Jake Hoth. There was nothing in it. And 21.8 by Stevie O'Dowd. Water truck back out again. And we'll plant some water up near the fence to keep the dust down. The track's been in fantastic condition considering the weather. Let's just check in on the weather temperature here in Collie. For some of you, it's probably not even hot if you're from Kununurra and Derby. Still 33.2 here at the moment. Feels like 31.4. I think that's a lie, but anyway, it's 33.2. Tomorrow, 24 degrees. Okay, bring a jumper tomorrow night. And 24 on Sunday, 7 degrees is a minimum. For those that are not local, definitely bring a jumper for the next 2 nights. It will cool off in the evening here. Just, I can't believe it, 7 degrees on Sunday evening. So 7 to 24 on Sunday. So I would suggest bring a jumper. It will cool off with southwesterly winds. Not overly strong wind, but that would be my local recommendation. 24 tomorrow and Sunday, so it won't be hot for the competitors. But as you sit there, it will be a little bit on the chilly side maybe later in the evening. Pack a jumper. These are the drivers that have not gone out there. Oldfield, Genev, Amaturi, Thompson and Thompson, Hadley, Jackson, Avens, Herbert, Higgins, Lammonby, Dickinson and Heelan. The 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 drivers that have not practiced this afternoon. So water truck exits stage right. We're green instantly. Peter Dowie, Jacob Dowse, Rhys O'Reilly, Kane Della, Ben Norman, and Glenn Edmonds are out there. They won't set the world on fire in this one as the water has just been applied. But they're getting around beautifully anyway. O'Reilly at 22.8, Dowse and Dowie. Della goes to the top with a 22.1. Oops! Flat tyre. We'll have to go yellow here. 41 does back it off the racetrack, Glenn Edmonds, but he got a flat tyre coming out of Cardinals. Flat back left. Heard it go pop from up here. Green lights are back on. And Edmonds trundles to the infield. So Dowie, 5th quick at the moment. Della the quickest from Ben Norman and Rhys O'Reilly. As we come up to complete lap number 2 of 6. Still Della from Norman, Rhys O'Reilly, Jacob Dowse, Peter Dowie. Of the 5 cars that remain out there, well, put the kiss of death on that, didn't I? Because Kane Della, the quickest car on the racetrack, make sure we've only got 4 out there. Reese O'Reilly into the fence. Here in the front straight, bounces off. Not happy with himself. Greens remain on. Got it sideways coming out of turn number 4 and whacked the wall. Saw it coming. Dowie from Doust. Ben Norman, incidentally, is the quickest car on the racetrack. As we complete lap number 5, last lap coming up. So Ben Norman in the 66, 21.544 is the quickest car on the racetrack, and that's the way it will remain. He completes his 6 laps, as does Dowie, Doust and O'Reilly. Yellow lights come on. So Ben Norman, 21.392 was the quickest in that group. Kane Della, 21.687. Peter Dowie at 21.906. Jacob Doust at 21.950. And Reese O'Reilly, 22.3 as the water truck ventures out yet again. Thanks to ODH Mechanical for their great support of this event. Specialise in repairs and maintenance of construction, mining, marine and Tyre Services for Heat 7. Collie Machine Shop will sponsor Heat number 9. Then we'll have Thompson's Auto Parts. Crap Industries, Forest Windscreens also supporting Heat races tomorrow night, along with Next Gen Studios, Forest Explorers, Eastport Tyre Services again, Parrot River Farm Stay, and then Philbrick Power Equipment and KJB Graphics. And then on night number 2, the Vic Hotel sponsor Heat number 19, Marston Melts Heat 20, West Nutrient Heat 21, Electrical Energy Solutions Heat 22, East Pilbara Tyre Service Heat number 23, and Better Home Living the final heat. C Main will be brought to you by Partners in Safety, B Main 1, Collie Bin Hire, Trenny's Injected Cleaning will bring you B Main 2, and ODH Mechanical will bring you the A Main. Thanks to all the great sponsors there that have got behind all the heat races and the finals, and to the Collie Making History Collie Speedway sponsors, Healthway, KJB Industries, Collie Ridge Resort, Spry's Butchers, Amalgamated Civil and Plant Hire, Thompson's Auto Parts, Collie Machine Shop, C-Tech Mechanical, Ian Guppy & Co, Smash Repairs, Collie Bin Hire, Collie Sign FX, Mendes Race Engines, to Collie Tyre Power, Collie Auto Tech, Ampol, Collie Premier Coal, Southwest Fire, Synergy, Italia Hire, PFD and Impact Engineering. Thank you very much. As we go green with the next practice session, time ticking down on official practice. Not many left. Seth Robinson, Nathan Douth, Easton Cooper, Colby Bosley, Fletcher Malentis and Jake Fisher are the 6 that are out there. Again, the water truck has just ventured out onto the racetrack, keeping the moisture in and the dust down. Ethan Cooper the quickest. They're in the 24-second bracket. They'll probably get into the 23s by the end of this 6 laps as the shadows start to take effect down there in Palmer's Corner, but still bright sunshine in Cardinals. Quickest lap is by Fletcher Malentis at 22.797. He's in the 63 car. Well, he won't be going any quicker because he's gone infield. And now the quickest car on the racetrack is the 17 of Seth Robinson, but we're yellow because Ethan Cooper is facing the concrete. As far as practice sessions go, it has been relatively clean and unscathed. Only a couple of brushes with the wall, and the 17 and the 18 in the early going of Aaron Sutton and Daniel Simpson had slight contact over there in Cardinals Corner, but apart from that, it has been pretty plain sailing, apart from a few flat tyres. Meanwhile, we're back under green. Seth Robinson still the quickest from Nathan Doust. Fletcher Malentis third quick. Colby Bosley, Jake Fisher, Ethan Cooper. The 12 cars seen enough. He's gone infield. Jake Fisher was fifth quick at the time. Seth Robinson in the 17 has the quick time at the moment, 21.324. Colby Bosley, second quick, Ethan Cooper, then Nathan Doust, Fletcher Malentis and Jake Fisher. That is the order. As we have just one lap to go in this session. As we go yellow, and that ends the session. Seth Robinson the quickest, 21.324. Nathan Doust 22.021. Ethan Cooper 22.034. Colby Bosley fourth quick, 22.034. Fletcher Malentis 22.797 and Jake Fisher at 23.151. So Ethan Genev does another lap in the water truck, just keeping that moisture into the surface, doing a quick lap with the water truck. So the next group of cars about to make their way out. So this group of cars out on the racetrack, car number 20 of Brett Brennan, car number 29, Thomas Host, 717 Josh Kennard. Also out there is Patrick Goodlett in the 22. Car number 24, Cade Munro. 173 is Fiona Palmer. Just going to circulate these cars for a couple of laps before we let them loose. '18 qualifying heats coming up tomorrow night, along with production sedans. Kicking off at 6 p.m. with the first race. Grand Parade at 5:30. Cade Munro's car still doesn't sound awfully flash. So Patrick Goodlett is the quickest at the moment. In car number 22. Fiona Palmer in 173 is the second quickest at the moment. And the third quickest, well, now the second quickest is Thomas Host. So they're all in the 22 and 23 second bracket after that water was applied. As time ticks down on official practice here. Brett Brennan goes to the top of the 22.452 now. Brett Brennan in car number 20 comes out at turn number 4, seems to be on a pretty quick lap. Can he reduce his time? Not quite. Fiona Palmer does. Moves back to second. Now Patrick Goodlett in the yellow 22 goes back to the top of the 21.7. All cuts. Brennan comes out at turn number 4. Completes lap number 5. Does his quick lap. Jumps back to second. Goodlett in the 22 just does a 22.599, but is still the quickest on the racetrack. From Brennan, Host, and then Palmer, Kennard and Cade Munro in the 24. Last lap for all 6 of these drivers. They cross the line. The imaginary checkered flag is out. Patrick Goodlett will be the quickest with a 21.717. It's just these last 2 cars come across the line. The yellows will come on. Whoops! Host went looking for the concrete after the yellows came on. Don't know if something broke or not, but he came awfully close to being a big casualty. And is stuck up there in turn number 4. So it's Patrick Goodlett, 21.717. The quickest, as Host does get himself mobile. Brett Brennan, 21.897. Host was third quick, 22.097. Fourth was Josh Kennard, 22.128. Fiona Palmer, 22.274. And Cade Munro, 23.065. The water truck has disappeared. So there'll be no more water, I would suspect, applied in the last couple of practice sessions that remain. Donnie Davis is back out there in car number 3. So too is Daniel Flavel in car number 15. Josh Aspinall in 7. Stevie O'Dowd in 19. Car number 24 is Jake Williams. And Colby Bosley in 78 will be the last car. So they'll be the 6 to rock and roll in this practice session. So the gates close over there on the back straight. Yellow lights are out, green lights are on, away we go. Donnie Davis, Daniel Flavel, Josh Aspinall, Stevie O'Dowd, Jake Williams and Colby Bosley are your 6 combatants. Lap number 1, Donnie Davis is the quickest so far. Now Daniel Flavel at 21.411. Bosley third, Aspinall. Stevie O'Dowd up to third. Jake Williams moves up to 5th. Initially was 4th, but Donnie Davis has just gone back to the top again. Josh Aspinall now moves to 5th. As the times continue to change, Donnie Davis at 21.1. Daniel Flavel at 21.4. And Stevie O'Dowd 21.5. And 21.6 by Jake Williams. So all very similar times. All cars now have completed 3 circulations. Donnie Davis ventures past lap number 4. Oh, that didn't sound flash. The 15 car very quickly to the infield, Daniel Flavel. So Davis, Flavel, O'Dowd, Williams, Bosley and Aspinall on time. But unfortunately, the 15 of Daniel Flavel rapidly went. Oh, one car into the fence, big time. Josh Aspinall has hit the fence pretty heavily over there in front of the Collie Ridge Resort corporate box. Sufficient enough that the bonnet come right up over the top of the windshield, and we've gone yellow. The cars have been sent back to the pits, and that will conclude the practice session, and probably we'll need the tow truck, I would suggest, for this one. So Josh Aspinall has come to grief. You can see the big mark on the wall. Tow truck driver sprinting over to the tow truck. Fireys and the crash crew just checking the left-hand side of the car, but there is significant damage, I think, to that car, and tow truck is on its way. So just when I said that we've got through the entire practice session pretty well unscathed, Josh Aspinall comes to grief.
No worries, thank you.
And this will be the last practice session coming up, the last 2 cars that are out there. I can see the grader driver is ready to go over in the pits as well as soon as this last practice session is complete. Graham Genev is already perched up there waiting for the gate to open for him to come and do his thing with the grader, as Josh Aspinall, I think, is going to be... Not sure he's going to be pushed off. Tow truck was heading his way, but they're able to get it to the infield. So Josh Aspinall certainly is going to need some assistance in the pits fixing the front end of his car after the heavy contact with the wall. You can see the damage there. It doesn't appear to be too significant, but there will be, I'm sure, some stuff they'll need to look over on the inside. Right, so we're up to the last practice session. 2 cars only. Car number 9, Kane Della, and with him, coming out of turn number 4 in this duo, is CJ Flavel in car number 11. And we're away with the last practice session of the afternoon in the ODH Mechanical SSA Street Stock WA title. Thanks to Stevie O'Dowd and the crew from ODH Mechanical. Kane Della starts his first flying lap. He's out there with CJ Flavel, and pretty comfortable in saying that I think Jace Kempton's 20.397 earlier on this afternoon is going to stand the test of time here as the track starts to slicken off. Lap number 1 is a 21.952 by Kane Della, and CJ Flavel almost spun himself out coming out of turn number 4. He completes his first lap. It's at 23.642, so certainly they're not getting anywhere near Jace Kempton's times. Kane Della 21.873, CJ Flavel at 22.825. And CJ Flavel, has he had enough? I think he might have. Yes, he's going to retire the car to the infield after his excursion. Kane Della has 2 to go. Up the main straight, under the screen, into Palmer's corner. Nowhere to hide for Kane Della. He's the only one out there. Down the back straight he runs. 21.824 is his quick lap. That was on lap number 3. Out comes the imaginary white flag. 1 lap to go. 21.824 still on lap 3 is his quick lap. Oh my goodness, we're going to finish with none. So he goes to the infield, and that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Practice is over. Congratulations to Jace Kempton, who is officially the quickest car this afternoon at 20.397. 53 of the 66 starters went out in practice. And just like that, out comes the grader as the work starts on getting this racetrack ready for tomorrow's West Australian title for ODH Mechanical. Just like that, Graham Genev is out on the grader and about to start prep for tomorrow's meeting. So well done to him, and well done to everyone who came out today and watched the practice in very, very warm conditions. Tomorrow morning there is, of course, official scrutineering with all the cars having to have all their cars checked officially by all the Speedway Sedans Western Australia crew. That will start bright and early in the morning, and then heat racing kicks off at 6 o'clock tomorrow night with production sedans over 8 laps. So then 6 qualifying heats of street stock, and it'll be just repeat the dose 3 times tomorrow night. And then we should finish around 10 p.m. Grand Parade at 5:30. Gates will open at 2 p.m. tomorrow, it says. Main gates open 2 p.m. for trackside parking. So get yourself here early to get your favourite spot. Then on Sunday, it's the same again, starting at 6 o'clock, Grand Parade at 5:30. Thanks for being with us. 2 graders, 2 water trucks about to do their thing on the infield, on the racetrack. We'll see you tomorrow as the ODH Mechanical SSA Street Stock title really hots up with 18 qualifying heats before we get into the big night on Sunday. For now, we say good night.
Check 1 2.